The 2018-19 Bundesliga season kicks off next week on Saturday, so I thought I'd do a guide to each of the teams and their situation after this summer transfer window, as well as a prediction of where all the teams will finish in the league. And their best and worst transfers will be shown on screen as well. Hi, I'm Ghost Masala, and just so you know, if you're subscribed to me, I won't be uploading during the next week because I'm on holiday. However, you still will be able to ask questions in the comments because I will be able to reply to them, so feel free to do that. It's just I won't be making any videos, so don't expect any uploads in that time. Anyway, starting off with the predictions now. In 18th place we've got FC Nuremberg, and they were very lucky to go up from the Zwei Bundesliga last season. There was a big group of teams below Dusseldorf who also went up, who didn't go up in that season, and Nuremberg were lucky to be able to get that second promotion spot, and they don't really have anyone of particular first division quality, and they haven't made too many good signings either. Their best signing is just a goalkeeper who played for relegated Hamburg, so I think Nuremberg will go down this season unless they make another good signing. In 17th place I've got Hannover 96, and they've lost one of their key players, and basically the player who carried them last season, Salif Sane, the Senegalese defender. He's gone to Schalke, so it's again not great for them. They've got lackluster signings as well from relegated Hamburg, and they've also bought a couple of bad Japanese wingers in Haraguchi and Asano. They're really not good. They could have got a lot better players than them. They will definitely rely on Nicholas Füllkrug, unless he if it turns out he's a one season wonder, they will definitely go down. As it stands, I think they'll go down anyway. In 16th place, it will be Fortuna Dusseldorf. They have made some good loan signings in Luke Bacchio from Watford and Takashi Usami from Augsburg, who they retained from last year when they were in Bundesliga Zwei, and also Barkok from, I don't know where he's from, but he's a good defender. But I don't think that'll be enough to keep them out of the relegation playoffs, and they will be stuck there. In 15th place, next up we've got Freiburg, and if they need to keep Peterson, otherwise they're going to get relegated. I'm predicting it here. If they lose Niels Peterson, they're going to go down. However, decent signings elsewhere will keep them up. Losing Kaglar Soyuncu to Leicester won't matter too much, because he was a young defender anyway. They'll be able to fill in for him quite well, and that money will help them invest elsewhere, and that's what they've done. So I believe Freiburg will stay up this season as long as they keep Peterson. In 14th we have SFV Mainz, and Mainz have bought young players, and they've lost young players as well. They've lost Suat Serdar and Abdou Diallo, but they've bought 3 young players to replace them. However, a big signing in their prime years would help them push up the table. As it stands, they're going to be stuck in a relegation fight, I think, but they will survive. In 13th place we have FC Augsburg, and they've kept key players such as Max Gregorich and Kayubi from last season, but they haven't strengthened too much. They've only bought 2 players really, and they've also lost their goalkeeper Marvin Hitz, so that could be key for Augsburg, losing him. So yeah, 13th mid-table for Augsburg. In 12th we had Eintracht Frankfurt, who had Europa League football last season, and this will hurt Frankfurt. Also, they've lost key players such as Hradetsky, who's gone to Leverkusen, and Kevin Prince Boateng, who was so crucial last year for them, and I don't think they'll do as nearly as well as they did the year before that. They have managed to sign on loan players who they had last season, such as Ante Rebic and Carlos Salcido, but I really don't think they will retain their Europa League place, especially as they didn't really get it last season anyway. And in 11th we have a VfB Wolfsburg. I think it's VfB or VFL, not sure, but it's whatever, it's Wolfsburg anyway. They were in the relegation playoff last season again. Wolfsburg have signed some very nice players in Wout Weghorst, Ginczek and Roussillon, so I believe they will terrible pronunciation there, but I believe they will definitely push up the table. They're very good signings. They did lose Daniel Dezavi, one of their key players, but they've signed some very nice players, and their players aren't good enough to not finish that low down in the table again, and I believe this season will be transition to getting back up to the top of the table where they should be really. In 10th we have Werder Bremen, and they've bought a top tier player in Klaassen. Of course, he wasn't played at Everton much, but he is a very good player, and he'll definitely be key in a Bundesliga side like Werder Bremen. I can't believe they've got him. Actually, I would have thought someone like higher up could have got him. It's good for them that he had such a bad season, and despite losing midfielders, key players such as Junuzovic and Delaney, they'll do well this season. I think Klaassen is just that good. And in 9th place we have Hertha Berlin, and or Hertha BSC, whatever you want to call them, and quite a lot of Hertha's key players played badly last season, such as Marvin Plattenhardt and Vedad Ibisevic, who only got 6 goals last season. So if they regain form as they think they will do, as I think they will do, they should do better, and I think they will do better, finishing in 9th place this season. Not quite as good as a couple of years ago, but they don't have Europa League football or Champions League football to contend with, and we saw that what that did to Köln. Last season they got relegated very badly, so yeah, they should do better. Next up we have TSG Hoffenheim, and they've lost some key players such as Ut and Gnabry. Hopefully I really don't know if I'm pronouncing names right, but hopefully I am, and it will hurt them. Finished in 3rd last season. I don't think they'll be able to replicate that. That was a fluke as it was, plus they've lost players, but they do have new signings, so that will keep them in 8th place, and they will push for a Europa League spot, definitely. But the signings aren't that good to keep them in the top 4. In 7th and pushing for the Europa League places, and they were very unlucky last year not to get one, but this will definitely help them. This is 7th, if not higher, for Stuttgart. Yeah, so they've kept Pavard, which is very key, because of course we saw how good he was in the World Cup, and they've signed Daniel Didavi, Gonzalo Castro from Dortmund, and Pablo Maffeo from Man City. Maffeo is real quality, all 3 of them are, and so this is 7th, if not higher. It's just because they had such a good season last season that I'm putting them this high again. But I don't think some of their players will be able to replicate the form as well. So yeah, this is going to be a 7th, if not much higher placing. They did lose Ginczek as well. In 6th place we have Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Alice, pronouncing French is not my strong point, but I'll give it a go. Alessane Plea is a key. Oh no, I just messed that up so badly. He's a key purchase. He scored 16 goals for Nice last season, and they only bought him for 20 million. Plus, they have only lost Vestergaard and Grifo. I believe Mönchengladbach will be able to reclaim form from last season and finish in the Europa League spots. And in 5th we have Bayer Leverkusen. They haven't really changed too much in the Leverkusen side, so that's why I think they'll finish 5th. And they've bringing in light for light switches for the players that they've lost. So they've lost Leno, and they've brought in Hradetsky and a couple of like that, and they've signed a good 18-year-old, so maybe this is one for the future for Bayer Leverkusen. Of course there's still time, but at the moment I've put them in 5th. Now the next 2 places are very close, and it depends on how these players carry on their form from their new clubs, because Leipzig have bought 3 very good young players, so 19, 20 and 19. I think that's what their ages are, and it's great business for them. But will they be completely ready for the new season, or will we have to wait and look down the line and see if they're ready for further season later? We'll have to see. If the young players do well and settle in quickly, they could be pushing for a top. They could be pushing for 1st potentially, Leipzig. So I really, it's a hard one to call, but I've put them in 4th because I don't think the young players will fit in that well, but they will fit in well, so that's why they're up a few places. And in 3rd we have Borussia Dortmund. So at the moment they haven't got a good striker, and they've lost Socrates, one of their key defenders, but I think the rest of the squad is good enough to drag them to 3rd. They've signed Diallo, they've signed Witsel, and it's no one's like really amazing in the team. No one's like really world class, but they'll do, as a whole they'll do well enough, especially if Royce doesn't get injured. But if he does, then it could be game over for Dortmund. They could be dropping down to maybe even 7th or 8th, but I put them in 3rd here. And in second, it's controversial, but I've put Bayern in second. But Bayern have sold key players and they've bought only Goretzka and Gnabry. Goretzka is good, but he fell off towards the end of the season. And Gnabry, is he really Bayern standard? I don't know. He did well for Hoffenheim, who are normally a mid-table side. They finished third last season, but they're normally a mid-table side. Yeah, if they buy someone else, I think they will retain the title. But as it stands, for me, no. And in first place, we have Schalke 04, and they've done some great business in the transfer window, selling overpriced Thilo Kehrer. They're fine at the back with a brilliant defence in Naldo and Salif Sane, who they also signed. And they've also bought Mark Uth, who was a brilliant goalscorer last season. That's something that Schalke have struggled with. They finished second last season, but I think they'll do better. They've bought so many good players. Also bought Suat Serdar, who is a young prospect. But they have such a good squad. They've got Caligiuri. They've just got absolutely loads of talent all over the pitch. Good keeper, good defence, good midfield, and with this Kehrer money they can go on and buy more players too. So even if Bayern buy someone, I believe Schalke will finish first, and that's my final prediction. So thanks for watching. As I said, I'm not here next week because I'm on holiday, so there won't be any more uploads during that time. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave suggestions. When I get back, I will definitely look at all of them and probably do all of them as well, because I always listen to suggestions. So yeah, and if you've enjoyed this, so leave a like and subscribe. I could do some more league predictions. They'd be a bit late, but I can do some more league predictions if people particularly enjoyed this one. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.